since I use Coke and product placement here, they could send a check directly to me for that product placement.
Angelo, I've been drinking this the whole show. If you're watching on YouTube,
all right, send it to the show.
Scarborough,
You know
New
what?
Zealand wine, please. Angela and I would love a case of it. We are massive fans. It's fantastic.
All right, all right.
And welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the TV Show Podcast. I am Jay Black, joined by the anti-humid Rhea Hughes. She had anti-humidity treatment. And the very humid Angelo Cataldi, always steamy wherever Angelo goes. And we are back to discuss a whole bunch of stuff. But before we even get started, there are two things that I want to say to our fans out there. Number one, guys, I told you this weekend, I had actual fans of the podcast come to a show. Not fans of me, Jay Black, the comedian, fans of the TV show podcast who listen every week. And I just want to give a shout out to Julie from Trenton, who is our listener. Julie, we thank you. And if anybody else wants to pay money to come see me, you feel free. We're not going to stop you. But I just wanted to say thanks to Julie before I forgot about it. And honestly, Angela, what I wanted to do was have just a little bit of light in our conversation before the darkness began. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we talk a little bit every time before we do the show. And Angelo came on. He was so distraught. I thought he was going to tell me something was going bad in his personal life. Like, guys, I'm so sorry. I can't. This is going to be a rough one for me because something's happening. No, he is just distraught about the bear. And Rhea, you said you cracked the case. So I want to hear Angelo first tell us what he disliked about it. And then I want to hear what you figured out is wrong with the show, Rhea. Angelo, are we going to put the bear forth for Emmys this year or not? What's going on?
Let's just start with this. The first season and really the second season of The Bear was ranked in my top 5 all time. It was so damn good. It was riveting. It was exciting. It brought you into Chicago. It was just the thrill of preparing food and developing it was phenomenal. Then 3 hit, it crashed and burned, and we went, well, they got rushed. They got approved for 2 seasons. They did do it. And so I started 4 because it just dropped last Tuesday. And the first 3 episodes were first season quality.
I'd agree with that.
I texted you guys to
You
go.
did?
Yeah.
I texted, the bear is back. Oh my God, I can't wait for the next 7. Shouldn't have said a word. From that point to the end of hopefully the series, it was the worst, most extraordinarily pretentious trod through garbage. It was one insanely long scene after another with bad dialogue, long pauses, pretentiousness all over the place. And right to the very end, they created this like it could be the end. And I said to Gail, I don't know if it's the end for them, but I am positive it's the end for me.
You're out.
I would watch 5 Marvel movies before I would watch another minute of The Bear. That's how bad the last 7 episodes of season 4 are. Awful. Brutal.
Angelo, I'm going to disagree. No, I'm not going to disagree. I just thought I'd get you mad. I agree with you. I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Maybe not as much as you did. I don't know if I'd say season 1 quality. I thought they were good. The second she gets to her niece's house and they're buying food and making dinner and talking about sleepovers, I was like, what is this? Am I watching a student film? What's happening here? Rhea, what is wrong with the bear? What did they do wrong?
So there's 2 things, but the one thing about you're right about episode 4, that they wound up, at her niece's house, and it was 20 minutes of a show that I have it up on the screen right now. It's only about 35 minutes an episode.
Yeah,
we did not need 20 minutes devoted to her hair and her niece and the making of the food and the insane analogy. Like, whoever was trying to write this, and I'm going to make a point in a second, thought they were being so clever and so pretentious with the analogy of the sleepover and whether she's leaving to go to a new restaurant. So I decided I was out today. I was at an appointment and I had a couple hours, so I wanted to watch it. It was giving me the writers for each episode.
Yeah.
So I started to go through them. Okay.
Yeah.
Every episode is written by a different person. This is why it sucks. Okay. That's number one. Okay. The episode with the hair and the niece, that was written. Episode 4 was written by Ao. I never pronounce it right. Ao Iberi, who I love. Let me make it very
love her.
I love her. But that was, she wrote it and it was written for her. And here's the second thing that I figured out why I was watching it, because I'm in the middle. I got 10 minutes left of episode 5. And the pastry chef, who I love, he's just such a nice guy, creates this, interesting dish. And he has Carmen. And what these people forgot that they created in the first 2 seasons was our utter fascination with restaurants and what goes on in the kitchen. They talk about, they have all this pretentiousness of, we are so important because people come here to spend their important moments in their lives in our restaurant. What fascinated us was the restaurant. And I feel like every time I watch an episode in 3 and 4 and they're in the kitchen, I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you for being in the kitchen. That's it.
Rhea, that's 100%. I just want to mention one other thing, because it shows you they could do brilliant TV. In episode 3, the sequence that they do where they create the snow.
Yes, I love that.
Richie is going, every single customer is special, and we have to make it memorable for each and every. That was amazing.
Yep.
That's when I was going nuts, going, this is great, right? They never did it again.
No.
They never. But Rhea, they completely abandoned the restaurant and the food and the drama of creating that stuff. They put this stupid clock up that's running.
And didn't do a thing. It did nothing.
It did.
It disappeared.
Did you go all the way to the end?
Once in a while.
I didn't get to the end, no, but I'm
let me
assuming
just say,
it
did nothing. You were right. They were capable of doing it and couldn't do it. Jay, Rhea's 100% right. They abandoned the reason that we were watching it.
It would be like if The Sopranos in season 4 said, you know what, this mob stuff, we don't like it. Now Tony is a caterer. So we're just going to see Tony and all his catering friends. I think you're absolutely right.
I thought of you when I started to go through, because you've written screenplays.
Yeah.
Like, how unusual is it that, I was shocked. There's a different writer for every episode. So how do you create continuity?
So usually in a situation like that, a showrunner would be like the person who oversees all of it. But that's in the old days. Like in the old days when it was an episodic TV show that would do 24 different episodes, like Friends. There's no real overarching theme that they're trying to hit with Friends. It's just be funny episode to episode. But in today's streaming world, usually there's a unified vision, which means the same writer for everyone, or at least on most, or a co-writer on most. I would agree with you. And I'll just say, backing up to that point, Rhea, there is something in a famous screenwriting book called Save the Cat, called The Promise of the Premise. And basically the idea is you make a promise to your audience. This is a movie about.
Yes.
And the promise of the bear is exactly what you said. The promise of the premise was, you want to see what goes on in one of these high stakes restaurants, that we're going to show it to you. And by season 3, it's, hey, but are they sad when they're home? It's like, I don't give a crap.
You're right. You're right. That's it. When they got to the personal stories, they ruined it.
Right.
And then whoever wrote them, and I know it's a lot of different people, they didn't write them well. But I want to ask you a question too, because this is really what this is about. Because we're watching TV history here. We're watching one of the greatest TV shows become one of the very worst.
Yeah.
When you're a writer and you begin to write a story, you know where it's going, don't you?
Generally
You
speaking,
know how it ends.
you have
Do
an
you
image in
know?
your head.
You know how it ends,
Yes.
right?
It is rare. There's one famous person who doesn't have an ending in mind when he starts, and that's Stephen King. And the biggest knock against Stephen King is he has bad endings. That's the number one knock against him. But most of us plot it out and know what our ending is.
By the way, that will come up again later in the show.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But let me just say, I'm trying. I didn't watch Lost, but I was told that it had an amazing start and an awful finish.
100%. By season 3, it was
Right.
a slog to get
All right.
through.
What about Game of Thrones? I'm trying to picture other big shows that didn't end well. Did that lose it along the way or right at the end?
It lost it so bad, Angelo.
Yep.
They used the notes from the original author who had not finished the books yet. He had finished 5 of the 7 books. The last 2 seasons, which would have been based on books 6 and 7, were based on his notes. It flopped so spectacularly. They said that the guy might never finish the series because he's too embarrassed to put out books that follow the TV series. It's been 12 years since the last book, and he hasn't put anything out. So yes, I would say that one flopped almost as hard as The Bear did.
And I got to ask Rhea something, because Rhea, we were exchanging a lot of texts this week because I was watching this thing. Why did the Brits know you didn't have to do 10 episodes in a season? Is that something how come they understand not every story requires 10 episodes?
Well, I don't really know there's a couple reasons that I think I've gleaned from it, because I see the same people in different shows. There is a smaller pool of actors. A lot of them are royally trained. I mean, but I say royally trained by the Royal Theater. I mean, not trained by, Prince William.
Prince William gives him, improv lessons. Let's go, everybody. You're a tree.
But they're considered, they do go to school. And then a lot of them so they do a series. They've got other series lined up. So I think they're always like, all right, we can do 4 series, so and so. Because when I recommend, people know this, when I do just the British shows, they're generally done by a lot of the same actors. So I think they keep them short because they're going, all right, we need and they're a lot of the good stuff is federally funded, state funded by PBS. So that's kind of a big deal right now that's going on in Britain, because like every government in the world, they're losing money for it. And the arts, let me make this very clear to all of you people out there, the arts are extraordinarily important.
Yeah.
So stop thinking you can cut money and give it all to the football team out of high school, okay?
The reason I asked you that, Rhea, is because I couldn't stop thinking about the show I've enjoyed the most this year, Adolescence, which was 4 episodes.
4, yeah.
And I thought, if they had taken just the first 2 seasons of The Bear and did what they did in Europe and had 5-episode seasons, 4 seasons, how great a show would that be considered?
We don't be talking
and
about
it ends when they open the fancy new restaurant, right?
Yes.
That's they don't have any more story to tell. That's what they didn't have anything else to say.
The ending would have been Richie handing the chocolates to Uncle at the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been it. They have ruined it because they got into all this other the pretentious thing of all the chefs sitting at the table at the goodbye thing, going, I made this and what I did great, and I'm going, oh, just shut up. It was terrible.
All right, let's move along to 2 quick hits before we get to our regular segments. The first one was just something I thought was interesting, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, Rhea and Angelo. F1 came out this weekend, the Brad Pitt racing movie. I'll be talking about it later, and it's a Formula One movie, and there's a fictional racing team that gets sponsored by Expensify in the movie. And I just read today that Expensify paid $40 million. Well, it wasn't just them, but all of the sponsors paid Apple $40 million to sponsor the fake racing team. And I was thinking, this feels stupid to me, but also it's going to live on Apple for 100 years. People are still watching like the Tom Hanks movie, about the Greyhound going across. So is this a smart investment by Expensify and all the other sponsors, Rhea, or is
How
this?
much money did it make in the opening
It
weekend,
made
Jay?
160 million this weekend. It was
They
the
knew what
number
they were
one hit.
doing.
Yeah. So
They
you
knew
think it's
what
a
they were
smart
doing.
move?
I mean, that movie was so heavily promoted. I want to say I love the movie The Ford versus Ferrari. I'm not a
Great
racing
movie.
person.
Yeah.
I thought Ford versus Ferrari was a great movie. I'm interested in this, although I don't care for Brad Pitt as a human. I think he's kind of like not a great guy with his whole kid situation.
Yeah.
He is a good actor. I'm looking forward to this movie. They absolutely spent the money well. They crushed it. They crushed it in their opening weekend.
Angela, you agree with that?
Well, here's the thing on product placement. I'm fascinated. We really should do a deeper dive in this sometime. Whenever I'm watching a movie, and ever, and like they're at a table and there's a can of Coke.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not in the movie anymore. I'm looking at the can of Coke and I'm going, I wonder what Coke paid to have that there.
Right.
It takes you out of the movie. I don't like it. I don't think product placement is ever great. It's great for the company. Yeah, they made a good investment, probably 40 million. I don't know how many people are going to end up getting involved in them because they saw the movie, but if it's exposure, yeah, they're going to get a ton of exposure. But from a filmmaker's point of view,
Sure, that's interesting.
you got to really worry about how much of that you do before you're taking people out of your movie to sell them something.
Yeah, you know what, Angela, you're right. I think about the James Bond movies in the 90s when he switched from Aston Martin to BMW and he wasn't drinking martinis, he was drinking Heineken all of a sudden. You're just sitting there going like, am I watching a Bond movie or a Pierce Brosnan
See,
commercial?
those are two distinct things. Bond was known for the Aston Martin and the martinis. Okay, we know that in race car driving, the race car drivers were probably the first to be huge with the patches all
Yeah,
over the place.
Right.
I'm used to that. And I think I think you and I are a little bit more sensitive when we see we lived in the commercial world.
Yep.
Now we were on radio, it was different, but like it doesn't when I see a Coke on the table, I go, well, I'm out at a restaurant, I see Cokes on the table.
Right.
So it's not unusual to me, but to me, having a race car sponsor, that's how they make their money, and they've always made their money. They've never been shy about it. So to me, it didn't seem that unusual.
it's a good point.
And one thing, Jay, I would like to say, since I use Coke and product placement here, they could send a check directly to me for that product placement.
Angela, I've been drinking this the whole show. If you're watching on YouTube,
all right, send it to the show.
Scarborough,
you know
New
what?
Zealand wine, please. Angela and I would love a case of it. We are massive fans. It's fantastic.
All right.
Hold on.
We'll only
Product
ask for
placement.
20
Hold on.
million. We don't want 40 million.
yeah, we'll take
20
20.
million. That's all we want. Thank you.
Here, I'm just going to hold this
All right,
up.
Rhea, no,
During
stop
the
it.
show.
We don't
Stop
give that
it.
away for free, Rhea. Come on.
Stop
All
it,
right.
Rhea.
Last topic I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'm fascinated by this. I have a theory, Angelo, why this is the case. I want to hear your theory. I sent you an article that MLB ratings are up big. Like in some cases, 30%, 10% on TBS is like 40% year over year. And they're up big in the under 30 demo, which is shocking to me.
Right.
We're coming off a year where the NBA shed viewership in such a way as to make everybody nervous. Is MLB hot again, Angelo? What's going on here? Why are people watching it? And is this an aberration or is this?
I don't want to steal your theory because I have a feeling we may be in sync here.
Okay.
Why do you think more young people are watching baseball?
I think it's because of TikTok. That's my theory. I think it's 100%. I have fallen down the TikTok rabbit hole, Angelo, of baseball statistics. I watched one video once. Rhea, you know how TikTok works. You watch one video once, and then they go, you must like this. I am deep into baseball now. I know tons of stuff about baseball that I didn't care about because TikTok said you watched one video once, and now I'm excited about the MLB in a way that I haven't been for a while because I'm exposed to it on TikTok. That is my theory.
Good theory. I'll accept that as part of it. Mine's not too far away from that. Baseball is perfect for the world today. It has somehow evolved back into being in sync with the culture because you don't have to watch it. You're there, and you got the phone in front of you. And look, there are a lot more young people now are going to the games. Watch the Phillies game.
Yeah.
And watch how many of them are on their phones checking up every once in a while if they hear that somebody hit a ball, which, by the way, isn't that common because most of them strike out. But it's like the fact of the matter is, Rhea, you know this, it's really good for that. Football, you can't do that when the team's on a drive down the field. You can watch the phone.
What baseball always used to love to show, because it would happen all the time back in the day. They don't do it now because government. They'd have a woman in the stands reading a book during a game.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, it was at least once a game. She'd be reading a book because baseball. That's why baseball lends itself to. Yeah, I'm gonna go and if you're a young kid, Citizens Bank Park is a great place to go hang. You're in your 20s, go meet friends. You're gonna meet guys. You're gonna meet girls. It's fun. And you really only have to start paying attention in the 8th and the 9th inning.
That's right. That's it.
True. But baseball, Angie, I will say, baseball is. Remember when we used to, Rob Manfred was criticizing, excuse me, Mike Trout for not promoting the game. That's not who Mike Trout is. They've got younger players now who understand the game.
Yeah,
they're younger ones who are promoting themselves on social media. That's making a difference.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's interesting to see. I hope the trend will continue because it'd be fun to see baseball come back into the culture.
Tigers, and the Tigers, who are one of the best teams in baseball, drew huge ratings on Sunday Night Baseball, which I love because Sunday Night Baseball was the problem with baseball for a long time because all they showed were the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. I want to try something myself here. Okay. I don't know if people could see my ring.
Yeah.
That's my wedding ring. I've worn it for almost 26 years now. I obtained it at Steven Singer Jewelers. That's called product placement. It's what we were talking about a little while ago. And let me just say, I can go back all that way because it's funny. Over the weekend, I did an appearance at the American Library Association convention in the very hall where I got married because we got married on the eve of the millennium, right? It was the day before the millennium. And we were there. We were just thinking about how amazing it was that was so long ago. And here's the thing. Stephen, from that day to this one, was there with us every step of the way, every breast bracelet, every necklace, every special occasion. When you have somebody that you trust in the jewelry business, you don't need to shop ever. You know where to go. You know who you can count on. You know you're going to get a good deal for what you pay. And the experience of it is fine, too. And all I could think the whole time was, I was incredibly lucky to find my wife. Gail, I'll tell you that.
Oh, 100%.
I was also incredibly lucky to find Steven Singer. And I got to see both the impact both of them had on me this weekend.
And here's what I'll say when Angelo says about, the whole trust factor. We all have people in our lives we've recommended, contractors to, all this kind of stuff. And it always blows up in your face because they do something wrong at their house and they hate you. They don't hate the person. I have never in 25 years recommended anybody to Steven Singer's come back and go, that was really terrible. No. Yeah. I have people now who are sending their kids to get engagement rings. That's how great that Steven Singer is.
It's beautiful. The other corner of Ate the Walnut, IHateStevenSinger.com.
Go click on it right now. You can see it right in the podcast description. And we appreciate Steven being our sponsor. We also appreciate the great Rhea Hughes, who's got a British segment for us every week and also a very special teen segment this week.
I do. So I have the Art Detectives on Acorn, 6 episodes. This is, I've told you, I think I've educated you guys enough to know what a cozy mystery is. This is one that it's not, it's again, what I say when I'm making dinner. I haven't made dinner in the house for about 10 days because I'm working on getting my HVAC fixed and it's been too hot. But when I'm making dinner in my house, these are shows I'd like to watch because it's an episodic. It's basically a detective. And you guys, you may know him, Jay. The lead detective stars Stephen Moyer from True Blood.
Oh,
He was
right.
yeah. So, but he's actually British. I don't know if he played British. I don't watch vampire shows.
He looks like
But
if Quentin Tarantino were attractive, that's what he looks like.
he's a
Yeah.
very attractive older man. I will
Yeah.
say that. So he plays a detective who's in charge of the Heritage Crime Unit, which is the arts and antiquities unit. So it makes it really, what's cool about this is, so it's episodic. So, everything, they solve a mystery, but it's around art, and it's either an art theft or art, and art in itself lends itself to history and mystery. And so it's a little bit different from just your standard issue police crime, cozy mystery, because the art plays such a big part.
Sure.
And art in England, I mean, you're marrying like two of the biggest things. So it's called The Art Detectives. It's on Acorn, only 6 episodes, and it's a real easy watch. Police procedural with a twist because it deals with art.
Gotcha. All right.
Beautiful.
Perfect. And Rhea, you suffered an injury on behalf of the show this week. Oh, look, it's still there.
Here we go. There we
Yeah.
go. I got it all covered up. So Clark and I got a sneak preview last week of Jurassic Rebirth, and it was really like we really enjoyed. So I'll just real quick, I'll tell you, with about 40 minutes left in the movie, I popped up to go to the bathroom. The woman at the end of my aisle left a tray. I slipped on it, hit her thing, and gashed my arm pretty bad.
Ah,
But I will tell you this: the people there took such good care of me. I was at the Comcast Technology Center. They literally got me back into the movie. I want to say in about 8 minutes. They
wow.
cleaned it up. I was racked from here to here. So at the end of the movie, Clark didn't know this was going on. He goes, "Is that a great movie? What happened to your arm?" But then he said I was a badass for getting an injury at a dinosaur movie. But we really loved it. Now we're Jurassic fans.
Sure.
I mean, obviously the first one came out before Clark, long before Clark was born. He has since seen it. It stars Scarlett Johansson. I always pronounce his name wrong. Mahershala Ali.
Oh yeah, Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Oh, I love. They're mercenaries, and it really. I will tell you, it kind of steals from the first one. They kind of go back to
Not a
'93.
bad one to steal from.
Yeah, it's not. It's basically this biotech guy says we need the DNA from 3 specific dinosaurs, and it will create medicine that will save the world from heart failure, cancer, all this stuff. But of course, he's not going to share it with the world. He wants to sell it to the world. So they travel to back to where the dinosaurs were created, where it's now illegal to travel. So they have to get, mercenaries like Scarlett Johansson, looks very good in a tank top. I'm sure everybody will enjoy it.
Sure. Yeah.
And Ali. And what happens is while they're going there, you have to, dating back to the original one, you got to have some kids involved, right?
Right.
Because there's got to be some. So there's a civilian family that's out on a boat. And it's the guy who stars Angelo, and you love him, the guy from Lincoln Lawyer, Miguel. Oh God, I can't remember his name. The guy who stars in the Lincoln Lawyer.
I love that guy. I don't even know his name, but he's great.
Miguel is his first name.
Yeah.
He's out on a sailboat with his 10-year-old, and I want to say his like 20-year-old daughter and her lazy boyfriend. We wound up loving the boyfriend.
Wow.
So they get capsized by dinosaurs, and the mercenaries have to save them. So now they're all on the island together. The dinosaur scenes are great. I will say, because I'm not giving anything away, because in a Jurassic Park movie, the bad guy does get eaten.
Yeah.
We at one point said to each other, I can't wait till this guy gets eaten. And when he got eaten, the entire auditorium clapped.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So
By the way,
it's
his name is Manuel Garcia Rolfo.
He's
Yeah,
really
he's
good.
really
Oh,
good.
one of the 3 name guys. I can never remember the 3
I know
names,
it's Manuel,
but he's
but I will
really
say
good.
this. It was fun. I will say the early reviews on Rotten Tomatoes are not good, but it's just critics.
Right.
53. Clark and his buddy Valentino absolutely loved it. The auditorium was cheering. I found it fun. I'm not going in there, acting like this is an art piece. It's Jurassic. So
Right.
I wanted fun, dinosaurs scaring the hell out of me, bad guys, and I liked it.
Jurassic Park, in a lot of ways, is like pornography in the sense that they figured out, you're giving the people what they want, In this
Exactly.
case, it's dinosaurs. The stuff around it doesn't matter that much. I don't need to know why the pizza delivery guy's coming over. I just know what's going to happen when he gets there. It's the same kind of vibe.
Exactly.
Angela, what do you
It
got for
was
us this week?
fun. Teenagers will love it.
Yeah.
Rhea, you've raised an obvious question. What did you find more painful? Your mishap in the theater or episode 4, season 4 of The Bear?
Episode 4, because when I got home, I poured product placement, a large glass of Starbower
Rhea,
wine.
Rhea,
Nice.
you're going to need a case of it for the next 5 episodes. I'm
Well, no,
warning you
Ange,
now.
I don't think I'm going to watch the rest of it,
You're
unfortunately.
I need you to watch it. I need the text messages with you have no idea what awaits you.
I
Anyway,
think you enjoy my text messages more than you enjoy
I
talking
do,
to me.
Rhea, because they're in sync with the way I think. Anyway, let me get to this because, see, I'm going to apologize, first of all, because I'm going to say some great things about a movie I saw, but it may just be that the bar got a lot lower because the only thing I watched all week was The Bear. All right. So
Sure.
anything would have seemed better. But I took the little lady and we headed out to the Bryn Mawr Film Festival last
Nice.
Saturday night to see the movie The Life of Chuck, based on a short story by Stephen King.
Nice.
Ooh.
And let me tell you something. It is so good.
Wow.
Entertaining, beautiful to look at. It was awesome performances. And here's the best part, profound. Do you know, I have never gone to a movie with my wife where for 3 days she was still talking about what it meant. And because it's about the meaning of life. They went high here. They went for the big one. And it's so fantastic. And here's the thing. I'm going to say something to you, Jay. You're going to go, I can't watch that movie. In the middle of it, the centerpiece of the film is a 7-minute dance scene.
Who are you talking to, Angela? I want to see this. Are you kidding?
Let me just say,
I love stuff like that.
It's the greatest dance scene in the history of cinema. It's better than Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, and all the other hoopers. It's so brilliantly executed by Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend, Tom Hiddleston.
Wow.
Who is just unbelievably great in this. And he's like the title, he's Chuck. Yeah. And I can just tell you this, all right? Every part of it is amazing. The way they created it, the way they segmented it, because it kind of chronology goes backwards, but it all fits, it all works, and you walk out of there. I've seen some great movies based on Stephen King. I'll put one ahead of it, and that, of course, is the all-time greatest, Shawshank Redemption. It's in my top 5. But it's better than Stand By Me. It's better than Green Mile. It's better than Cujo. It's better than all the other great movies based on Stephen King novels. And all I can tell you is it's fantastic. You got to check it out. You're not going to see it in theaters. I mean, I had to drive half an hour to get to it. Yeah. It'll be out. It'll be streaming very shortly. The Life of Chuck in theaters now. And just one other quick thing. CBS Sunday morning. We all like that, right?
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
Give a piece of advice to an old timer like myself, Ted Koppel. Ted, retire. You're the most boring man in the history of television.
I thought he was retired.
Yeah, he just did a 25-minute piece last Sunday that is so excruciating. I paused it and went back to the beer.
My son, by the way, saw The Life of Chuck and agrees with you. He loves it, Angelo. So I got to go check that out.
It's so good.
All right. So I have a quick review of a movie we mentioned earlier, F1. And here's what I'm going to say. You got to go into this movie expecting what this is. It is a race car movie. It is the opposite of The Bear, whereas The Bear seems to want to go away from the restaurant into the lives and the interior lives of all the people inside the restaurant. F1 basically says, we know why you're here. You're here to see race cars go vroom, vroom. And the same director who did Top Gun Maverick did this movie. I can tell you, you have never been this close to F1 racing in your life.
Wow.
If you get a chance to see it in IMAX, it will overwhelm you. You are basically in the car with the driver going 200 miles an hour with cars within inches on either side of you. There was a
Can
moment.
you see it in IMAX around here?
You can see it in IMAX. It's all over the place. See it
Okay.
soon, though, because
Okay.
Jurassic Park's going to take over those theaters soon enough.
Gotcha.
So if
Okay.
you're hearing it now, make reservations right now. There's a moment where there is a crash, and I won't say who or why. It was dead silent. And I just heard the woman sitting next to me go, "Oh my God." Like she was so invested in the race and the racers. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, the movie itself, you've seen a million times. It's an old guy coming out of retirement to help a young guy. You've seen this before. You have never seen racing like this before on film. It'll blow you away. So it's a great, fun movie. Check it out, F1. All right, Angela, what do we talk about
I'm
this
just really excited that Rhea doesn't like Brad Pitt, personally. I think that's so cool. All right, anyway, we talked about The Bear. Season 4 now available on Hulu. Last 7 episodes. If you're going to watch them, remove all sharp objects first. You're going to want to hurt yourself. All right. F1, which we just talked about, is coming out on Apple at some point. It's in theaters right now if you want to check it out. We talked about Major League Baseball being popular now. You want to watch a game? There's like 7 or 8 networks. Every streamer's got a piece of it. ESPN's fighting now. They're not sure if they want it or not. Check local listings for a game near you. All right. The Art Detectives. Rhea recommends British. That's on Acorn. Jurassic World Rebirth in theaters now. Life of Chuck in theaters now. CBS Sunday morning. Watch it when Ted Koppel's not on it. It's on CBS on Sunday morning.
And the person you just heard speaking is Angelo Cataldi. You can download his book Loud off of Amazon, off of Audible, off of angelocataldi.com. If you get a physical copy, he'll sign it, or you can listen to him read it, which is also just a delight. That voice right in your ear all day long.
Such a delight.
Oh, it's wonderful. You can also catch Rhea Hughes every single day on YouTube doing her show on WIP. You're going to want to check that out. And you can see me, Jay Black. If you're a fan of the podcast, you can see me at the Stress Factory July 9th. I'm going to be there being funny. Come out and check me out. And as always, tell 10 of your friends about us because we keep growing every week. And we want to thank our great sponsor, Steven Singer, for helping us make that happen. We'll be back with more news and fun reviews next week.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July.